This is the Golf Commission for the town of Fairfield. It is June 8th.
Great. Thank you, Joan. All right, everybody. Let's do a quick roll call to see who's here. This is Keith Varian speaking. Peter Seacrest, are you here?
I am. Hi. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Christine Hogan.
I'm here.
Great. Liam Heron. All right. No Liam yet. Paul Gleason.
I'm here.
Great. Priscilla Schultz.
I'm here.
Great. And Michael Feinstein.
Yep, I'm here.
Great. Everybody, let's welcome Michael. It's his first meeting.
Thanks.
Keith, did you hear me that everybody. I was here?
Yes, I got you.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, I'm going to soft mute everyone, and then you have your directions for how to unmute yourselves. 1 sec.
All right, thank you, Joan. Hopefully I'm unmuted. Hopefully you can all hear me. I'm just going to keep talking as if you can. Joan, can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, well, thank you. I'm going to waive the I almost said national anthem, but I'm going to waive the Pledge of Allegiance today. Again, we have a new member, Michael Feinstein. This is his first official meeting. I think he listened in the last one. So, Mike, welcome. And this is an interesting time for you to be joining the Golf Commission. So thank you for agreeing to serve, and hopefully you enjoy it. All right.
I'm muted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Keith. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting everybody in person and, hope to be an asset. So thank you.
Great. No problem. And hopefully we will meet in person soon, right? I don't know when that'll be, but hopefully it'll be soon. Even maybe get a tour of the new clubhouse as it's going up. Framing is up. It's looking good over there. So maybe soon we can even take a walk around. All right. Let's take going through the agenda. Let's act on the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second it. Paul Gleason.
Great. All right. Any
And
comments?
that was you,
any
Priscilla?
issues?
That was me. Yeah. Yes, Joan.
Yeah.
All right. Any comments or questions about the minutes? Okay. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any noes? Any abstentions? Okay. Easy enough.
I'm assuming Mike has to abstain, right? He can't vote to approve the minutes, or can he? Because he wasn't at the last meeting, or?
Well, he was actually here, but he was a member of the public. So
Okay.
we'll put him down as abstaining. Mike, you should probably abstain only because you weren't part of the meeting.
That's fine.
All right.
Is
all right,
Liam on yet?
Good question.
I still know Liam. Okay, thanks.
So looks like we have communications as the first real agenda item here. We have an email from Larry Adams, and I think we had another email too. Are we going to be talking about just Larry's email, Joan, or do you want to talk about the other one that we received from Bob Gorman as well?
I think that Larry knows that we are speaking about this, and as well as Mr. Gorman. I believe since they're both pertaining to more or less the same items, I think you could move the public input to that. That is the only public input we received, so that's all you'll need to deal with. So I think you could move Mr. Gorman's up ahead if you had anything else to speak about his letter.
Great. All right. Let's start with Larry's. Did everybody have a chance to take a look at his email?
Yes.
I did.
Yeah.
All right. So he had some questions about some of the trees and the original architect plan for the space. Jim or Peter, what are your thoughts? Do you know what trees he's referring to on this?
I'm going to let Peter speak on this if he's here. Peter? Maybe Peter's not here.
I will text him very quickly. Also, Keith, I'm not sure if you heard, but Anthony is at another meeting presently, but he is on the call in case he needs to answer anything.
Okay, great.
Keith, I could talk about the trees a little bit in Peter's absence, but I think we are aware of what trees Mr. Adams is talking about. I think Mr. Adams is probably under the assumption that it's something easily done and not having.
All right, now that I figured it out, Peter Grace is here.
Oh,
hello, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
I was just bailing you out. Go ahead, Pete.
Muting my phone and muting myself all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's hundreds of trees that have to come down here. I mean, I've taken out some down. It's just the point of getting to it.
Right. All right. Well, maybe on the right side of the fairway, 15, you could take a look and see if there's something that's really. They don't stick out in my mind.
I'm looking right now. I see it.
Okay, good. It doesn't stick out to me, but I haven't played 15 in a little bit. Yeah, just pay attention to them. If there's something that you can do to help, move those along, that would be helpful.
Okie dokie.
I'd like to say something. It's Paul Gleason speaking. I played today, as Priscilla did as well. And tee to green, this stuff is not interfering with play, but I clearly understand the idea of getting rid of some dead and other kinds of trees, and it's something Peter typically does in the off season. So for me, we're talking about mid-season kind of actions here, and I looked for anything, on the right side of 15 today when I was playing, and I didn't see anything that interferes with play if you're even 10, 15 yards into the rough. So there's probably a lot of stuff right of the wall that could be taken care of next winter, but I just didn't see anything specific to this gentleman's letter.
Okay.
I'll also just say that,
Can the public make comment at this point or no?
Sorry, what was that?
Mr. Adams?
Can the public make comment at this point?
No, they can't.
Thank you.
So you should probably mute yourself. This is actually a non-public commenting meeting. Comments are supposed to be submitted by email or in writing. It just makes the meetings go better. So we have all the communications that we'll be discussing at this point. It's just the way that the meetings are set up right now when we have these virtual meetings, unfortunately. So we're trying to find a way to get these meetings to go while also listening to the public. But having multiple speakers on a call just makes it difficult. So that's the process that the town put into place.
That may be the case, Keith, but I think there's a lot of comments that need to be had. And this is Bob Gorman, 225 Sturgis Road, Fairfield.
All right. Well, Bob, remember, though, please just mute right now.
Yes,
Thank
Captain.
You. Great. Thank you. All right. Anybody else on the commission have any thoughts about the trees or Bob's email?
If I could just lob in about Mr. Adams' letter, this is Jim again. I think the gist of his letter also was going through some sort of restoration project to get the course back to what the original design was before these trees have grown. And he's got a good point there. A lot of clubs are doing that. I don't think it's in our budget to do something that major at this point, but I think he might not be referring to a specific tree or two. He's talking about what a lot of these private clubs are doing now and trying to go back to an original Donald Ross design or whatever, which have been taken over by trees over the years. And I think he's hinting at us pursuing something like that. But again, I don't think it's in our budget right now or with our manpower.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a lot of courses are thinning out trees all over the place, and it does kind of open up the course for a little bit better play to do that. So I understand the point as well. And obviously, I prefer not to play in trees, but yeah, and that's something, and we're going to get to this. So in the next email too is, talk about maybe a new 10-year capital plan, which this would obviously be part of that, I think, and I think that's an interesting point to include in that, because right now, as we all know, the 10-year plan just ended or is ending. And so, we kind of let it go since we have the new clubhouse coming right now. But I do think once the clubhouse is built, it is time then to talk about putting a new 10-year plan in place. And this would certainly be part of that plan as well as other things too.
I will tell you this, that can you hear me? This is Peter.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Anthony, we talked about the 10-year plan, and we just ended the 10-year plan this year. We got money to do tree work. I mean, we got plenty of work to do here. It's just delegating it. You want the fairways cut and everything else. I only had 4 guys for a while, so I think I understand everybody's point, what they want to get done, and I want to get it done too, but it's just going to take time. It's going to take time. And the Board of Finance did say to us after the last 10-year plan went through that they don't really want to hear about a 10-year plan right away. Put it off for another 2 years.
I know. We asked for a lot of money, and that's the problem, right? So, yeah.
So that's where we stand.
Great.
I understand just like to move on. I mean, I know the problems, and I'm trying to address them, but you can only do one thing at a time.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Keith, it's Paul Gleason. I was a member at Patterson for about 30 years, and I saw them over the course of the last 10 years take out at least 5,000 trees, maybe more. And I absolutely 100% believe that the health of the golf course is much better after taking out thousands of trees, but we need to get a budget for it. I mean, that's the big deal. And chip away at it every winter, take out 500 trees, but it's a big deal.
I agree, and that's the issue here, right? And I think it's what Peter's saying is he only has manpower and budget power for so much, and right now without a new 10-year plan, it is hard to take on large projects. We certainly can clean up and keep the course maintained, which is what he's doing and will continue to do, but we need to get a new 10-year plan in place so that we can start to put in these larger projects and have a budget for them.
And Keith, just to give you some background, about a year ago, Peter took out several trees to the right of the fourth tee, which the original design did not have trees hanging over the fairway, from the back tees, and he got a complaint from somebody wrote to the town, and he had a lot of trouble. So this kind of stuff requires proper planning, upfront analysis, etc. But I absolutely supported what Peter did, and yet somebody complained about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, I understand that. All right, let's move on to any other comments on the email? All right, I think, has everybody received Bob Gorman's email as well, talking about course condition, maintenance, strategic plan?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Great. Okay, and a lot of it is the same, general maintenance, and I think the issue here is the same issue, is that there's only a certain amount of manpower and also a certain amount of budget, which we all acknowledge, and then also the strategic plan, which we've already talked about.
But just also
anything
in reference, Bob's email, is that I know he made a statement about wanting like a senior member on the commission and a women's league member on the commission, and when we can tell him that both are on the commission. So both groups are well represented on the commission.
Yeah, I agree. And unfortunately, it's a subcommittee of the commission, so we really couldn't go outside. But I hear the point. You want both the men's club and the women's club represented, which they are. But I understand that point as well, and I think it's helpful
absolutely.
to have them on. So that does make sense. Okay. Anything else on these two emails?
What do you think about the water situation? I don't have an answer, but I just think we should just talk about it for a minute, because it was really, really hot on Saturday. And I don't think there's a solution to a cart or having people drive around with water, but maybe even just tell people if you need water, you can buy it in the pro shop, but this may be your last opportunity to get it. I don't see anything better than that. I mean, you can't have someone driving around.
If I could chime in, we have signs posted in the pro shop that all the water coolers in the course have been removed per the CDC's recommendations. It's a terrible situation right now as far as getting back to the pro shop from the 10th tee, but there really isn't a solution at this point. We really can't hire somebody to sit out there and sell water. So I think we just got to keep spreading the word, and we do tell most people when they check in, especially on a warm day, that there aren't any kind of water coolers on the course.
Jim, this is Priscilla, and to Christine's point, I know we've played a couple of different courses before Smith Open, and both of them had carts out there selling drinks. And are we allowed to do that?
We're allowed to do it, but we don't have a concessionaire. The concessionaire is the person that A, buys the cart, and B, staffs the cart, and C, supplies the cart. So unfortunately, we don't have that. Sense. But just to give you a little background, we have tried a beverage cart in the past. Unfortunately, with the size of our course, as far as the cart paths being so close to tee boxes and greens, it's really not convenient for a cart to go around. It really disrupts play. And these carts aren't just like a regular golf cart. It's obviously got a large trailer on it, so you really can't back up or anything. So you got to keep going in a continual motion around the course. And it just hasn't worked. I know Mike Duke tried it when he had the concession. Kieran actually had a cart and tried it. And I think he resigned himself to just leaving it parked in between 6 and 10. That was about the best solution we could come up with.
Okay.
So is that really is that what other public courses are having carts, or is it just buy water at the pro shop at the turn? I mean, is that those the two options basically?
Those are the two options. I've spoken to all my. Well, I know nobody has water coolers out there. Even the private clubs don't. And it's just not an option. It's not allowed for us to be in compliance with the CDC guidelines.
You know,
I'm get word out.
I realize I'm not supposed to speak, but and Jim, in all deference,
Who's speaking right now?
Bob Gorman, 225 Sturgis Road, Fairfield.
Bob, can you mute your phone, please?
No, Keith. This is a serious problem. Town has a huge.
Joan, can you do something here? Bob, I'm happy to let you talk, Bob, but you have to. I mean, we have to have some control over these meetings. It's not even.
This is a simple conversation. There's an option. Jim could figure this out, and Keith, you and Anthony could figure this out. There are 2 empty sheds up by Peter's maintenance facility. You could put a kid in there with a couple of coolers every day with water, Gatorade, whatever. If somebody dies up there, and I'm telling you, we always have an incident or 2 each year in the heat when there's ample water on the golf course and someone goes down. That's on you. I will mute myself now.
Okay, thank you. All right. Jim, thoughts on having a cooler?
This is Mike. I understand that there's some signs. Are there enough signs, or is there something we can do maybe even on the website when people are booking a tee time, just so we can explain so people understand they should bring, enough liquids with them?
Yes, it's posted in the guidelines, all the CDC compliance guidelines. I don't know when the last time you looked at our website is, but we have so much information up there right now. It's almost to the point where nobody reads any of it because there's so much. And the same with posting any more signs outside. The construction company did a nice job of providing us with signage for everything up there. We have signs every 15 feet. It's almost to the point of being ridiculous how many signs we have. So,
so the website saying no water?
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
This is Chris. I was wondering, when you get the confirmation email, could Vermont Systems just write, please remember, based on CDC guidelines, there's no water on the course, they sell it at the pro shop, but maybe could they do that?
I could make a call tomorrow and look into it. I can't make any guarantees on that.
Right.
Yeah, but just one more thing, right? I belong to a private club, and there's no water on the course.
Yeah.
Right.
So, there's just no water on the course.
No.
I have
This
noticed
is Paul Gleason speaking. I'm 73 years old. I'm a walker. I walked on Friday. I walked today. I brought my own water. I had no dehydration issues. It's up to the individual to understand they need to bring water. I mean, what are we doing here? We're supposed to be the ones responsible for people to know that they need to bring water?
Let's put it on the website, Jim, on the front. I'm just on the website right now. I see there are links here, but to your point, to have to click through to get to that, we should probably just put somewhere, no water on the course, bring own water.
I'll take care of it right after the meeting, Keith.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Oh, my God.
All right. All right. Let's move on. Let's go to the staff reports. Jim, your reports.
Okay. It's going to be short. I think everybody saw the numbers. The numbers are absolutely phenomenal. I've never seen this much golf being played. We've been literally sold out from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, regardless of the day of the week. The driving range has been doing numbers that I've never seen before. The par 3 did 100% more rounds in the month of May than last May. So everything's going pretty good golf-wise. Operation-wise, my staff's been doing, I think, an excellent job, keeping everybody safe, keeping everything clean, doing the best we can with the accommodations we have right now. Our GPS is fixed in the carts. It's working fairly well. The cart situation is interesting day to day as far as running out of carts. I don't think we've had anybody wait more than 10 minutes for a cart thus far, and I know Anthony is working on securing some rental carts for us for a month or so until we get back to the 2-passenger carts. Everything else is good. It's numbers like I've never seen before.
Yeah, especially the
Jim,
par
this
3.
is Peter. How is it going as far as, people standing around, congregating? Is it pretty? Are people kind of coming in close to their tee time and getting off, or starting off and then finishing and getting out? I mean, I've been there a couple times. It sort of seems that way.
Yeah, well, ironically, there's nothing else to do up there except tee off and go play golf because the building built. So it was a little bit of a blessing in disguise in that regard. But, people have been very good about social distancing. The younger crowd is the problem. Anybody 25 and under, they seem to not watch the news. But most people are very good about wearing masks, coming in the shops, keeping their distance. Parking lot, for the most part during the day, it's not a problem. What happens up there after 7 o'clock, I don't know, because we're not there. But people have been good about it. People understand. We've never gotten pushback from anybody in the parking lot when we've asked them to disperse. People want to see what they can get away with, and when we talk to them, they're fine about it. So we've been incident-free up there for the year, which is nice.
Yeah.
And what about the putting green? I saw people putting on that. I know that putting greens are now you can use them, right?
Our putting green is open. I don't mean to step on Peter's feet, but they've been babying it pretty good. It was done in a patchwork fashion like our 16th green was last year, and it's healthy. It's growing. People are walking on it. I think if Peter and his crew had their way, it probably would be closed. It might heal up a little bit quicker, but it's very difficult to tell somebody before they tee off that they can't roll a couple putts or hit a couple chips. So they've been very good with working with us on that. They just top-dressed it again today, so it is getting better every week, and I don't think it's in any kind of jeopardy of being damaged by people being on it, but Peter can address that when he speaks.
Okay. All right. Anthony, do you have time to give yours? You want me to move on?
Nope, I'm here. I'm here if you can hear me.
Yep, we got you.
Okay. Sorry that I'm at another meeting. I apologize. As Jim said, you saw the numbers were really good for May. I am working with EasyGo on trying to get a contract for carts. They were supposed to be here a few days ago, and as with everything else that we try to do around here, nothing seems to go like it's supposed to. So hopefully I'll have those carts up to Jim in the course shortly so we can make some more money on the carts. Porta Potties, which I think are on the agenda to talk about. I know you guys maybe have mentioned it a little bit already, but as far as I know, the building committee, Craig Curley, is got our owner's rep dealing with Royal Flush on trying to work out the contract on getting them cleaned. I know he's hit a snag with them, but right now
they're the ones paying for it, so they are managing that contract. They did add a few extra porta potties. I believe another one went up there this past Monday. That's pretty much all I've got.
Anthony, can I make a comment about the bathrooms now? Is that
Sure.
appropriate? Okay.
Yeah,
the bathrooms, and I've heard this from so many people, especially the women that are playing, that they're just absolutely disgusting. And a lot of people, a lot of the women try to avoid them at all costs. And a couple of them were saying that the bathrooms at the beach are cleaned twice a day. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true because they're done by DPW and they're physical structures. I mean, these are pavilions that we have at the beach.
Right.
They're not porta potties.
So it's,
porta potties
so it's
we can't clean.
Royal Flush is responsible for making sure the bathrooms are clean?
That's correct. And the building committee pays them, I believe, for 2 or 3 times a week that they're supposed to be cleaning them.
Okay. Because I know that, so they're negotiating the contract, and so they're working on trying to get them cleaned more than they are now because it's just...
Correct.
Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to get them cleaned more than they are now, but they're having trouble even having Royal Flush honor the contract that they currently have because Royal Flush is saying since all public bathrooms throughout the rest of the state are currently closed, everywhere is using porta potties. So they're short-staffed, overworked, the whole spiel.
Right.
But I know
Do
Craig
we have
Curley
any options?
is on it. Well, the option that we had was to call for emergency service, which means that they have to respond within 3 hours, and they didn't. So I guess the next option is to say that their contract is null and void. They can remove all their porta potties, and we can try to find another company. But trying to find porta potties right now is not easy, seeing that, like I said, all the hospitals and everywhere else are using them. So I think it's probably in our best interest to have Craig and the building committee continue to work on Royal Flush, but it's not pretty, and our guys cannot, public works guys cannot go in. We can't move the porta potties. We're not allowed to clean them. We can't stock them. And from what I hear, people are stealing the toilet paper out of them. So,
oh my gosh,
it's an ugly situation. I mean, I know Craig put up the camera himself, and he put the women's only porta potty up there. The sign on for women's only. So,
right.
I mean, he's trying,
which is not being honored. I actually was going to play golf one day, and I saw a worker from Grasso, literally before you moved the porta potties, so when they were all up in that one area, out of all the porta potties, everything was open. He went directly into the women's one. And I waited for him. And when he got out, I said, "Why are you in the women's room?" And he said, "I don't know." I said, "You have all these. This is supposed to be for women." And he goes, "Talk to Peter." And it's like, what?
Yeah.
So, there's a problem.
Yeah, no, we obviously are aware of it.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Yeah, it must be a headache for you.
Yeah, they're not in good shape. I mean, I played it on Friday and paid some attention to I walked in each of them. There was toilet paper on them. There was, they weren't clean. And they're proving to be one of the biggest issues right now. And unfortunately, to Anthony's point, we can't get them cleaned. We can't get another company in there. I do want to talk to Craig again about the first option, which was having a different type of bathroom in there. I understand that it's dramatically different in price, but the season is shorter now. I just think that these bathrooms right now are proving to be a major issue. There's no other option. Anyways, I'll reach out to Craig again and have a conversation and see where he's gotten with Royal Flush, if anywhere.
Okay, thank you. Good.
All right. Anthony, you good?
Yep, I'm all set. Thank you.
Oh, now wait. I have a question for Anthony then, which I'm assuming is this. Is there any word about it? Do we have any kind of concessionaire who wants to come up this summer, or is that dead and gone right now?
For a concession?
For this summer.
The issue we have right now is we don't have parking. Even if we put a food truck on, like the dirt patch or that overflow area, like right when you enter the golf course, the issue is it's still tight parking. With all the tee times that we're doing, if we put a food truck there, it's encouraging people to stick around. So I've been very hesitant to reach out to any other food trucks to try to encourage them to come up. We've had at least 2 that have reached out to me saying, hey, we'd be interested in being up there for the summer, on weekends at least. But I just don't see how it's a viable option when we're trying to turn over those tee times and get people out of those parking spots.
That's true. That's a good point. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But it might work if the tee times slow down a bit as the summer rolls on.
That definitely could be reassessed then, yeah.
Okay. All right. Peter, superintendent report?
Yeah, that's we're hard at work here trying to get everything going here. I finally got some guys back, and all the things we talked about before, the weed infestation, this and that, trying to keep up on it. And things are growing like crazy now, and we're just in full grooming mode. Other than that, it's just a lot of things my guys have done. I think came out great. I think the cart paths came out great. The putting green came out great. Had 5 superintendents play here in May, and they loved the place, which I enjoyed. So it's everything's good. We just keep going. Like I said, we got a lot to do up here, and we just keep plugging away. I got tees to build. I got trees to cut. I got a lot to do, but the main thing is from tee to green.
How's the area on 4, the water retention area? It's looking good. I'm just curious how it came out in your mind.
My question was, where did the water go beforehand? But they built these things, and it's good. But we're gonna have to. I think we have to build a tee up in front of it because it's a no exit, no enter zone, which is crazy in my mind. But I don't have anything to say about that.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward how the cart path wraps around. I mean, you can see as soon as the ropes go down, people are just going to cut straight across. So that's going to be a bit of an issue.
No arguments here. It wasn't my design.
Yeah. All right. Any questions for Peter? All right. Greens Committee. How's it looking?
All right. Okay. Yeah. First of all, I've had a chance to play a lot, which has been wonderful. And I have to say that in all my years of playing up there, the fairways and greens are the best they've ever been. The fairways are lush. The greens are rolling true. They're in great shape. And Peter, you and your guys are doing a phenomenal job. They look great. I'm happy that the apron around 11 is finally growing in, and that looks great. The course is in great shape. My question is, and you addressed that, is I'm sure that all the gardens are going to start to be worked on as far as getting the weeds cleared out and the flowers growing and stuff. And I'm wondering if should we start maybe looking and doing something with a beautification committee, or is this something that your guys can handle? Because I know they have a lot going on. Peter, this is for you.
That's fine. I mean, we were trying to keep that women's garden on 3, and it's just a bunch of gardens, and they need attention. And I'm trying to get to them. We're just on the one along the 11th tee here, trying to get that cleaned up a little bit. I mean, it's.
Yep, I saw him working on it this morning, as a matter of fact, that he was out there. So I'm assuming. But if you need help, if we should maybe start trying to find people to help with that, just let me know, and I can put the word out to the women's group, especially, to see if anybody would be interested. All right?
Fine with me.
Okay. Now the other 3 comments that I have, and you touched on the 4th tee, and I know a lot of the women absolutely approve the forward tees being moved up. Especially with that environmental area, and it's being like a dead zone for the balls. Just a suggestion, if you do move it up, it probably needs to be back a lot further than it is now, more in the rough. And I don't know if you and Jim have looked at that at this point. But yes, I agree with you that it should be. I remember you mentioned that last year that you thought that the fourth tee, the forward tee, should be moved up, and we absolutely agree with you. But I would love to take a look at that with both you and Jim and get your thoughts on that.
Whenever you're ready, we'll look at 4, 6, and 7.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. For 6, and again, I've been talking to a lot of people about this, and Christine, I don't know if you've thought about this. A lot of the women are complaining that even if the tee was built up where it is now, you're still facing the hill and you're still hitting the ball right into the hill, and a lot of people are having problems with that. And then we were looking at the way the contour of the hill as you go up, and there's a spot on the left-hand side as you walk up that kind of plateaus. That might be a great area for a tee. And I think, Jim, you had mentioned that earlier before we decided to try to move the tees where the temporary tee is now. And the more I think about it, the more I think that's a fantastic idea, and it would probably get you out of hot water with the gas company, trying to put the tee down where it is right now. How do you both feel about that?
Priscilla,
I don't have a problem.
I think Pete's problem with it is I think his irrigation doesn't reach over to that area. I did look at it with Pete Carney, Pete's assistant, and while it does look like a good spot, the irrigation won't reach to that area. But I think the other thing you need to be careful of here, and again, it may pertain to you more so than most of the ladies that play up there, although we do have a lot of competitive golfers up there. When you put a new tee box on 4 and then you put a new one on 6, you put a new one on 7, you're really going to skew the course rating, and it's going to take more than a year, could take a couple of years to get it re-rated. So it's really going to have an effect on people's handicaps. So I think we got to be careful.
No, I definitely understand that. Yep.
Yeah. But I think the area I think the area you're talking about on 6, though, if you're talking about the same one Pete Carney and I were looking at, it's going to be a problem irrigation-wise for Peter, and that turns a fairly simple project of just building a tee box into a major project when Peter's got to reroute irrigation.
Right, plus the expense of that. I definitely understand.
Yeah. Jim,
one other thing you got to worry about there is that moving the ladies' tees up on 4, you're going to be right in the firing line of guys and people off of the 5 tee, and if you move that up on the hill on 6 tee, you're going to be right in the firing line at 10 tee, the bad shots and so forth. So you got to consider these things too.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, Jim, it's Paul Gleason. Priscilla and I were actually talking about this earlier today. I actually took some focus on this because I know it's been a discussion for a while. And one of the guys I was playing with today said that years ago there was a discussion in forward of the gas company line of advancing the women's tees. And, Zach has done such a great job with building up some of these tee boxes. Couldn't we just build up a tee box in that area between, after you go by the gas line and before you get to the top of the hill, sort of halfway up or something?
Well, I think that exacerbates Priscilla's concern about women teeing off directly into the hill. He'd be closer to the hill even. And I don't think Zach can't go higher than 4 or 5 feet as far as building up.
So we just put that whole out and take a look at it all.
Yeah, right.
Move on.
What was the discussion, though, years ago that I heard, Jim, you had with people about advancing that, and just to get a little bit of history?
I'm not familiar with any conversation on that whole. If you go back about 6 or 7 years ago when we dredged the ponds on 6 and 7, we actually extended the tee box up top forward more. So the hill used to be really long for ladies and seniors and everybody because all the tees were up on top. Zach actually took a lot of the stuff that we dredged out of the pond and extended that tee box out probably a good 20, 30, maybe 40 yards. That's the only discussion we ever had on 6. As far as the ladies' tees, and I think Priscilla can back me up on this, we did undertake it as a huge project a couple of years ago and built, I guess we probably have 9, 10, maybe 11 new ladies' tee boxes, which have been a huge success. It's helped pace of play. The ladies enjoy it more and
absolutely.
Whatnot. And, the problems we ran into were number 4 was a problem, and thankfully we didn't do anything because it probably would have been right in the middle of the new retention time
Right.
for that area up anyway. 7 is always going to be a problem to find a flat spot up on the hill, and that leaves us with 6 also, which it's just a tough spot. It is better down the bottom of the hill, but I understand what Priscilla's saying about you don't want to stand there with a driver in your hand and you have a 50-foot incline right in front of you.
Right, and I noticed a lot. And again, this is such a pace of play issue, and there are women who are taking even where the 6 tee is now. They're taking sometimes 2 and even 3 shots to get over that hill, which does not help matters whatsoever when you're trying to play in under 4 hours and you fall behind. Some people who are struggling. And the same thing with 7. When you have people who can't reach the creek on 7, and they take 2 or 3 shots just to get to the top of the hill right there, before they hit down. And so just trying to improve that, just to speed up the course, because I just think we're going to see record numbers this season with everybody. There's nothing else to do, so I think everyone is coming out to play golf, and if we can just speed up play, that would be wonderful. But again, I would love to come and just talk to both of you, and maybe go out there and just see if we have a couple of different options, if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, I'm always available. I'm sure Peter is too, Priscilla.
Perfect.
Email
Thank you,
us.
guys.
We'll pick a time and a date.
This is Chris. I have one more greens question, Jim. I don't know if I think this is for you. Many times when we're playing 6, we get hit on. The balls come at us because they don't see us. Have you guys ever, I'm sure you've had this before, ever come up with a system like a bell system, or is that just not reasonable?
Well, I've seen them on other courses, and I've worked at other courses. The problem with those are don't use them; they're useless, and you end up standing there on the tee box for 15 minutes. I hate to say it, but I mean we have been around for almost 50 years now. But it's almost like a local rule that you stay on top of the hill until everybody's clear. And same thing on 18. And as dumb as it sounds, we do have enough regulars that most people know that. The problem is, and I know when you play golf, you usually play at 2 or 3 in the afternoon on a weekend.
Yeah.
And that's our irregular time where we don't have a lot of regulars and we have a lot of flailers.
And we walk, so we can't really stay at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wondered.
We do the same thing. I like your idea. I know what you were saying. They got red light, green light buttons that you could push and bells and whatnot. But, they don't work. I mean, they work at private clubs because people know about it, but when you have, 5,000 different people coming to your course in a year, it doesn't work too well.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And I have 2 items for Peter. I didn't get to talk to you today, Peter, but 2 items. One, on the second tee, as you're walking down to the tee box, you'll see it when you go there. There is a step that I think is screaming for someone to sue us. It's kind of like missing a stone there. And if you take a look at it, I just think it needs to be repaired. That's number 1. Okay. And number 2 is on the 4th tee today, one of your sprinklers to the right, as you're teeing off, was spewing a little bit of water. It looked like you had a leak there that might have had to do with construction.
What happens with a 20-year-old irrigation system? I know. I got about.
I got it. And then you start getting people messing around with all those recoveries off the parking lot. I'm sure something got disturbed. Just to let you know, there's a lot of water flowing out of there.
I'm well
That's
aware.
it for me. Okay.
This isn't my gratuitous shot at Paul, but you were playing the senior tees, Paul, just so Peter knows what it is.
No, I do not ever play the senior tees. I hate the green tees.
I was serious, though. Next to the white tee box?
Jim likes to bust my rocks on that. I will not play those green tees.
Okay, so what's near the white tee box then, just so Peter knows where it is?
Just to the right of the white, to the official white marker.
Very good. Sorry about that, Paul.
I love you, Jim.
Down there right now, Paul.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Priscilla. That's good. All right. Clubhouse update. Anthony, you want to give us a quick update as to where things are?
He might have left.
Yep. Sorry, had to unmute there.
No worries.
As far as I know, everything is going smooth. We did have a water pipe break up there. I believe that was repaired on Monday. So everything's fine there. But, yeah, the walls have gone up. If anybody's been up there, I believe they started doing some of the roofing. It's looking good. Looking good. As far as I know, we have not moved any further out into October, November. So I think we're still looking to finish sometime this fall.
Anthony, I got to tell you, I think our third shot to the green on number 18 will rank number one amongst all the clubs in Fairfield. It is going to be gorgeous when that clubhouse is done.
Yeah,
you're standing at the top of that hill. Yeah. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazing too how big the building is. You get a sense of it now that the walls are up. It's a big building. Yeah.
And when they put that cupola or whatever they're going to put on top of the center section, it's going to be amazing.
Right. Yeah. 18. It'll be cool when you finish on 18. You get to come up and you see them. You see the building up there in front of you. It's going to be a nice finishing hole.
And people sitting there having drinks. The concessionaire is going to make a lot of money on drinks, selling drinks out there.
Yeah. Your little audience.
So actually,
your
that's going to be the toughest shot. Is that when people are out there having drinks on the patio and they're watching the game to the green on 18?
That's well set.
Jim will be heckling Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay. All right, that's good to know. I'm glad that the timeline is still staying intact because the building's going up quickly. It's looking good, so that's good to hear. Concession, I think, Anthony, that's probably you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, there?
I did speak to Anthony about this today in case he can't get back on.
Okay.
He said that it is now with the lawyers, it is just very, very close to going out on the street. So, and he's hoping for something very, very soon. So it's with the lawyers right now.
Okay. Great. Any sense of who he will direct send it to versus just sending it out to the public? I know Vazzi's was one of them. Any other? Do you know if there's anybody else he's intending to send it to directly?
I did not hear back from him, but I can find out and let you and just email you all tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I caught the tail end of that. It's Anthony. As of right now, Vazzi's, Kieran, and anybody else you guys want us to send it to, we're happy to send it to. Otherwise, it'll just be put out on the street, and their people will find it. But if you guys know of anybody, send them over to us, and we'll put them in contact with our with the bid.
Anthony, I saw Karen up at the golf course today, but I didn't talk to him about this. But it's my personal assessment that he is strung out with his purchase of the other property. Do you have any sense of whether he will be submitting a bid?
I don't know for certain one way or another. But I would agree with your assessment.
Okay. I'm
Paul,
friends with John Vazzi, as I've said before. Yep. I'm friends with John Vazzi, as I've said before. They do a great job, but I would like it to be a competitive bid situation. Ideally, we should try to get 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's out of our control. We can only put it out on the street, and whoever bids.
Right. Yep.
Anthony, when do you have a sense it'll go out?
It is sitting with the town's legal team as we speak. So as soon as they get back to purchasing with it, I would assume probably sometime this week. I spoke to purchasing earlier today. We'll just try to keep the pressure on them. Obviously, the town is busy with a lot of different things that they're juggling. So, but we're hoping to get it out soon.
Will you just let us know when it goes out and send us all the copy that goes out?
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Okay, thank you. All right, any other questions for Anthony? All right. We already talked about the portables, unless anybody has anything else on those, the portable bathrooms. Everybody's favorite topic. All right, and we talked about public input. Anything else from anybody?
Hey, Keith, this is Mike, and obviously I'm the new guy, so I don't know exactly if this has already been discussed in the past. If it has, I apologize, or if this is the forum for it. But I'm actually just wanted to bring up the driving range. I've been up there a few times. What's up with the mats there? Or is it possible that we can improve the quality of the mats and maybe get tees? Because I go up there with my kids. I see tons of kids up there. The kids want to use tees up there, and those tees are impossible to use. They fly all over the place. Has that been addressed in the past?
Can I take this one, Keith?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. That mat that's up there, in the past, when I first started here 15 years ago, we used to have the individual 4x4 mats where the rubber tees would go up through the hole in the mat. And we lost, in a conservative estimate, probably 30 to 40 mats that's up there because it's not a secure area. In fact, one year we had the range cart stolen and burned in the field up there because it's not a secure area. So we purchased that mat, that roll-out mat, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. It was probably close to $10,000 for the mat. But the primary reason that we did it was because we just couldn't incur the cost of the 4x4 mats anymore. They cost somewhere around $350 a piece, and they kept getting stolen. And unfortunately, there's no way for the rubber tees to come up through that mat because it is glued to the pavement. We might be due for a new one in a couple of years when that one finally, comes to the end of its useful life. But it is permanently installed there, and unfortunately, the best we can do is trying to use the smaller tees that we provide up there, that we sell up there for 2 1/4-inch tees.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Also, there's nothing.
If I can, you may have noticed we have that net, the retractable net in the middle, where we have tried to maintain that grass area. And while it was a great idea, and even with all Peter's efforts to keep it usable, how bad the grass is up there, that was all material that came out of the ponds when we dredged the ponds about 6 or 7 years ago. And we've just never been able to sustain any kind of turf on it. But people do use it when they do want to hit driver or 3-wood and they need to put a tee in. We haven't stopped people from going forward a couple feet and using that area. But we never realized its full potential with the net in between. We ideally wanted to keep one half of the range open for grass, one half for mats. And we did it for a while, but again, we just couldn't sustain any kind of turf on that hill.
Yeah. Okay. Understood.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I think that's it. I will entertain a motion to close the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn. This is Priscilla.
I second. Peter?
All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks. And Joan, thank you for all your help.
My pleasure.
It is a pleasure working with you.
And happy retirement, Joan.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, Joan, happy retirement. I wish we could give you a hug and send you off properly.
Maybe I'll take up golf and see you all up there.
That would be great.
Everybody be well.
Let's get Joan on the
Thank you all.
Take care.
Bye.
See me at the bar.
Bye now. See y'all.